This was a 3-year effort from everything that I've heard you discuss about this investigative series. I mean, you had even studied actual bioscience startups so that you would feel a little bit more ingratiated into the topic. Give us some insight into the amount of preparation that it took to undertake this series.
Sure. Well, I first became aware of the whole issue of aborted baby part sales at Planned Parenthood about 5 years ago. And unfortunately, there's been sort of a renaissance in the whole practice over the past 5 years, with multiple biotech startup companies starting up to partner with Planned Parenthood facilities across the country to harvest the parts and sell them. And so the opportunity came up about 3 years ago to do a full-time, very long-term, in-depth investigative journalism study on this exact topic. Our investigators were highly trained. We spent a lot of time analyzing the statements and writings of abortion doctors and of Planned Parenthood officials. We spent a lot of time studying and modeling ourselves after real-life biotech companies that are partnered with Planned Parenthood. The kind of surprising thing was that Planned Parenthood was happy to welcome one more player to the party, basically, when we presented ourselves that way to them. So,
wow. Wow. And there are, from what I understood, 12 videos total?
There will be about a dozen videos, give or take, when all is said and done, yeah.
And how often are you going to release them?
Right now, we're kind of pacing it for about one a week. There could be a little bit more or a little bit less than that, depending on how things are going with the public discourse and the conversation where it needs to go.
One of the themes of these videos is that it seems as though it's building up to quite a big climax, because the first one, we were outraged at we're outraged at Planned Parenthood anyway, but the casualness and the complete disregard for human life and the lack of humanity, sitting there swilling wine, eating a salad. The second, Dr. Mary Gatter discussing Lamborghinis, even though somewhat facetiously, but it wasn't entirely a joke. And then this third one, in a Pyrex pie plate, dismembering further dismembering an already dismembered infant corpse there in this pie plate. How should we gird our loins? How much worse does it get?
I'm sad to say, I'm not happy to say it does get worse, Dana. People should be prepared for that, but also people should be prepared to really press the issue with the media, press the issue against Planned Parenthood, and press the issue with your elected officials and elected representatives to really hold this barbaric organization, Planned Parenthood, accountable for these atrocities against humanity.
Which is what I hope happens, and I hope it happens at the state level and the federal level as well. Speaking of which, I know that House Democrats have been pushing for the DOJ to investigate your group, sending a letter to AG Loretta Lynch. What is your thought on that? What is your response?
Sure. Well, the Center for Medical Progress is proud to comply with all applicable laws in the course of our investigative journalism work, so I'm not too concerned about what will ultimately come of that. The group of House Dems that sent that letter, actually, they're not even a formal congressional committee. It's just kind of the most radical of the hardcore pro-abortion supporters who wanted to do something. I think that most of the sober heads in the room, though, realize that the baby hearts issue is something that's just completely toxic for the left, and completely Planned Parenthood is becoming increasingly toxic for all of them. The more that this story develops. So I think it's mainly just a kind of a last-ditch attempt to try to pacify Planned Parenthood leadership, but I don't think that's going to go anywhere.
Well, I hope to see this group defunded. At the minimal, I hope to see this group defunded, and I hope to see some justice. There's possible RICO charges here. There are a lot that you could look at this group for.